Welcome to the Cigar Cypher, the podcast where the rich aroma of tobacco meets the spark of conversation. Let us guide you through the captivating world of cigars, from the ancient art of rolling to the secrets of perfect pairings with coffee, whiskey, rum, and more. Whether you're a seasoned aficionado or just curious about your first puff, this is your invitation to join the Cypher. So grab your favorite cigar, settle in, and let's get started. The Cigar Cypher, a member of the Buenos Dias Media Podcast Network, where the smoke tells the story.
Welcome back to the Cigar Cypher Podcast, brought to you by Buenos Dias Media, where every puff here ignites a story. Welcome to the perfect timing for a leisurely smoke and a deep dive into cigar culture. Today, we're exploring why people smoke cigars. This is usually a question that people who are not into the cigar culture ask. So why do people smoke cigars? Why do they fall in love with the culture and the benefits that keep enthusiasts coming back? Whether you're a long-time aficionado or just curious about the aromatic cloud, you're in the right cipher, my friends.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, guest, and/or participants of this show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Buenos Dias Media LLC, its associates, partners, and show sponsors. The content is intended for entertainment purposes and should not be construed as professional advice. Listener discretion is advised.
So before we dive into today's topic, let me share with you today's cigar. Today we're smoking a Cohiba Red Dot Churchill. This gem measured 7 inches with a 49 ring gauge, a perfect Churchill size for a thoughtful smoke. It's hand-rolled with top-notch construction, tight seams, a Thule Cameron wrapper from Africa, and a solid draw that ensures a steady, even burn. The tobacco originates in the Dominican Republic, where Piloto Cubano leaves are grown and aged to perfection. Blended with a rare Indonesian Jember binder for added depth. A single can run you between $25 and $27, or about $4.78 for a box of 25, bringing the price per single to about $19 when you buy them by the box, reflecting its premium craftsmanship and limited availability in the U.S. market. This could be considered a medium-bodied delight. Today, our cut and light is brought to you by Leilani Roman Photography, because over the weekend, they took some amazing photographs for the website, which is coming along beautifully. So thank you to Leilani Roman Photography for the amazing work. Let's cut and light. As I puff, I'm tasting cedar. So today we're going to explore a little about why people smoke cigars, why they fall for the culture, and the benefits they cherish. So stick with me, because after the break, I will unpack it all.
Looking to connect with like-minded men who share your drive for success and passion for the finer things in life? Welcome to the Apex Gentlemen's Guild, a private members club for men who value ambition, camaraderie, giving back, and personal growth. For a limited time while we're fully remote, you can join the guild for free. Gain access to tons of motivational content, exclusive events, insightful discussions, and a network of high-performance individuals. Don't miss this chance to elevate your social circle. Request to join today at facebook.com/groups/Apex Gentlemen's Guild, or give us a like at facebook.com/Apex Gentlemen's Guild. The Apex Gentlemen's Guild, excellence forged in unity.
We are back on the Cigar Cypher, brought to you by Buenos Dias Media. We're puffing on that Cohiba red dot, and diving into our big question. Why do people smoke cigars? For those who don't understand, it's like smoking anything else. When they think of smoking, they think of cigarettes, vapes, or weed. That people smoke just for the hell of it, to get a buzz, to calm nerves or shift their mood. It's just another bad habit. But there's way more into it. There's way more to it. And you don't know that until you dive in, right? And until you dive in, you probably won't get it. So let's start with the obvious. Smoking a cigar, it's like a ritual. Unlike a quick cigarette, a cigar demands time, like this Churchill I'm holding. It'll take me over an hour to fully enjoy the cigar, and that's by design. It's a pause in a fast-paced world, a moment to sit back, reflect, or connect. I've seen it at gatherings, friends passing a stogie, sharing laughs, the smoke weaving a bond. For some, it's the sensory pull. The cedar or leather notes hit your palate. The aroma fills the air and it's almost meditative. Studies suggest that smoking triggers dopamine, the pleasure chemicals. A cigar, cigars amplify that with their slow burn. But it's not just chemistry. Historically, cigars trace back to the 16th century when Spanish explorers brought tobacco from the New World. Indigenous tribes like the Taíno smoked them in ceremonies, and that reverence stuck. By the 19th century, they were luxury goods for the elite. Think Churchill or Freud, puffing away as they shaped history. And this thought, right, of it being for the elite is what kept, it kept me away from it. And it keeps people like me away from it. Or like I was. Because I come from poverty, and for years, I thought that only, the douchey and pretentious people were the only ones that smoke cigars. And that's until I dove into the culture and started understanding it better. Others smoke for rebellion or identity. In the 1990s, cigar lounges boomed as a counter to anti-smoking trend. A badge of individuality. I've met guys who say their me time, right, is when they smoke a cigar. It's a break from work or family chaos. Data from cigar retailers shows a 15% rise in sales since 2020, hitting a resurgence, especially among younger folks seeking that old school vibe. Plus, during COVID, there wasn't much else to do. So why do I like cigars? I personally smoke a cigar for, I gotta say, all the previous reasons mentioned. I fell in love with the culture of it, the conversations that happen. I like the gentlemanly aspect of it. And granted, there's always those who ruin things, they try to ruin the experience. But overall, the camaraderie, the elegance, the business relationships formed, and the culture itself is pretty solid. And that is what attracted me to dive in to the cigar culture. But it's not all rosy, right? Health debates loom large. We'll touch on benefits later, but the draw isn't always about longevity. It's about the experience. For me, lighting a cigar, I feel a connection to that lineage, the craftsmen, the farmers, and the hands that rolled it. Why do you smoke? You can drop that in a comment. or send us a message. Because maybe it's the taste, maybe it's the tradition, or just an excuse to slow down. But let's explore a little further why people fall in love with the cigar culture. It's more than the smoke. It's a lifestyle, a community. It's a story. I first look at the craftsmanship. When I look at this Red Dot's Cameroon wrapper with its toothy texture and triple fermented finesse, it reflects years of skill from the Dominican torcedores. Cigar culture celebrates that artistry. Events like the IPCPR trade show draw thousands to honor it. I've been to tastings where rollers share their craft, and you can feel the pride. It's like wine connoisseurship, but with a rugged edge. People get hooked on learning about aging, blending, even the soils of the Dominican Republic or Nicaragua or Honduras or Pennsylvania or wherever this tobacco thrives. Then there's the social glue. Cigar lounges are modern salons, right? Places when we look at New York City, like places like New York City's Club Macanudo or the Davidoff Room, they buzz with conversation. I've seen strangers bond over a humidor, debating this cigar's peppery finish versus a milder blend. Online forums and social media posts show a global cipher. Aficionados trading tips and rating smokes. It's a shared passion that transcends borders. The allure also lies in history and Hollywood. Cigars started on The Godfather, where a puff sealed the deal. Or James Bond, where a stogie masked a move. That mystique ties to Churchill, Castro, or even espionage from our last episode that draws people in. They fall for the romance, the idea of being part of something timeless. I've met with collectors who hunt rare vintages, their love deepening with each find. But it's not universal, some critique. It's as elitist or outdated. Yet the culture evolves with women and younger smokers joining, challenging old norms. For me, it's the stories, like the Taíno rituals inspiring this Cohiba's lineage, that keep me enchanted. So now let's tackle the benefits of smoking cigars. Yes, I said benefits. Let's unpack this carefully as, it's a topic with nuance. First, let's look at the mental escape. Lighting a cigar, you feel how stress melts away. Studies on relaxation suggest slow, deliberate activities like smoking a cigar can lower cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, offering a meditative break. It's not a cure-all, but for many, it's a ritual that grounds them. I've talked to listeners who say it's their therapy after a long day. And I get it. Those cedar and cocoa notes are a mood lifter. Socially, it's a connector. Cigar lounges, clubs, or meetups foster friendships. And data from industry reports shows a 20% increase in lounge memberships since 2022. The act of sharing a smoke builds community, something we crave more in a digital age. Health-wise, cigars differ from cigarettes. They're not inhaled, reducing lung cancer risk compared to chain smoking. The CDC notes cigar smokers who don't inhale have lower mortality rates than cigarette users, though risks like oral cancer remain. Moderation is key. Experts suggest 1 or 2 a week. Keep it as a treat, and it's not a hazard. Some claim that antioxidants in tobacco combat inflammation. Unproven but intriguing, fueling debates. Then there's the cultural benefit, preserving a craft. Buying your favorite cigar supports farmers and rollers, keeping traditions alive. For me, it's also about mindfulness, savoring each puff like savoring right now, where the coffee notes shine. But let's be real. Health warnings are loud, and personal choice rules. The benefit is subjective, tied to enjoyment and moderation. So, why do people smoke cigars? Let's reflect. It's about ritual, culture, and perceived perks. Whether it's relaxation, community, or honoring a craft. A cigar's journey from fields to my hand mirrors that story, with its leather and spice lingering as a perfect close. For our Cypher community, I'd love your take. Why do you smoke? Is it the culture, the lounges, the history, or the moment it gives you? Share with us on Instagram and tag us at the Cigar Cypher. But before we go, here's a challenge. Try your favorite cigar this week and note why you love it. Taste, tradition, or just the vibe, and let us know about it. We'll make features for your picks in future episodes. So if you enjoy this, please rate us on your podcast app. Your supports keep the Cypher burning. Thanks for joining us, my friends. Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep protecting the leaf. This has been the Cigar Cypher Podcast. Until next time, light up slow, smoke with purpose, and never let anyone else define your passion.